father would be proud of what she'd accomplished outside of the restaurant's walls. She would prove that with her new job. As of Monday morning, she'd be a PT assistant for Dr. Anders, and she was still pinching herself that she'd landed the position. The competition had been steep, and she'd stared at the phone after accepting, unbelieving at her luck. Her hard work had gotten her the job, and she'd do everything she could to prove she deserved it. Her family had protested when she'd gone to college at 20, not for restaurant management, but for physical therapy. They'd humored her because she always came back to the restaurant, but one day she wasn't going to come back. She was still working on how to tell them, but for now, she could hold down both jobs. Sleep was overrated. "You going out there?" her father asked, cutting into her thoughts that she had no desire to dwell on tonight. She didn't miss his narrowed eyes and wrinkled brow. "I'm going. Anything I need to know?" she asked, smoothing down her shirt. "Nope. Now that you're here, we're at full staff. Kitchen is running on time," her father said. "I'll be back for a plate later," she said, grabbing a piece of bread and shoving it in her mouth to tide her over. She pushed through the swinging doors and said hello to George, another cousin who was manning the bar with Nick and Caitlin, also her cousins. Sophia had worked at her family's restaurant since she was old enough to hold a pen and ask if you wanted penne or linguine with your meal. She'd been the head hostess since she graduated from high school. And as much as she loved her family, she had no desire to spend her life directing people to their tables with a smile. One day her family would understand that. They'd have to. "Good evening. 3?" Sophia asked, addressing the couple and their teen son waiting at the hostess stand. At their nods, she scanned the table breakdown in front of her and grabbed 3 menus. "Follow me. I hope you're having a nice evening. Have you been here before?" "Last month was the first time. We're new to the area," the woman said. "Welcome back. I recommend the bolognese tonight, with a Cabernet. My mouth watered just walking through the kitchen," she said, gesturing to the booth and sliding the menus in front of them. "Sean will be your waiter tonight and should be right over with water and bread. Let any of us know if you have questions." She gave them one last smile before heading back to the now empty hostess stand. Her gaze darted around the room. They'd be on a wait shortly. Only a few empty tables remained, and the dinner rush was just about to hit. "I'm checking back to grab a bite," Sophia said when they finally had a moment to breathe, almost 2 hours later. True to form, 15 minutes after she'd seated the couple and their son, the dinner rush had picked up, and they'd ended up on a 40-minute wait. It was steady now, with only a few parties waiting. She scanned the restaurant. A handful of tables had their bills, and guests were finishing off their final glasses of wine. "Go, go," Becky said with a wave. "Bet you've been non-stop today. At least you have tomorrow off." Yes, one glorious day off, since her new job didn't start until Monday, and it was Thursday night. She laughed. Yes, day being the correct word since I'm here again tomorrow night. "This isn't work, it's family," Becky said with a grin, and Sophia rolled her eyes at the family motto. At least it should be the family motto. "Don't I know it," Sophia said before she headed back to the kitchen. "Thought you'd be back by now," her father said, dishing up the bolognese over fresh linguine that she'd been salivating over all night. She'd do an extra 20 minutes on the elliptical tomorrow to make up for it. She ignored him and dipped a slice of homemade bread in the bowl. Her family might drive her crazy, but at least she was well fed. "Since you don't have that other job tomorrow, you should come by during lunch. Joy can't come in," he said, referring to their part-time hostess, and not a Lanzi. "You always ask for favors after you've put food in front of me," she said, glaring at him. "And I have plans tomorrow. I never get a day off." "You would if you only worked here." "Can we not do this tonight? Joy just let you know this today?" "Yep. That's the problem with hiring people who aren't family," he grumbled, and she didn't miss his point.